up, everybody? What's going on? Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself, doing everything you like to do, spending some time reflecting, getting that positive energy, keeping that good vibrations. Good Doobie Brothers, good vibrations. I like that track. Yeah, you. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for joining me on the live. As you can see, what I'm talking about today and what I want to touch on is why work is important. Something I was pondering, something I was thinking about that I just wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk about it for a little bit with the beautiful infinite creators. Shouts out to each and every last one of you, trying to improve, trying to get better, trying to do the things that failures don't like to do. Trying to do the things that failures don't like to do. Well, you say, what are the things that failures don't like to do, OG? Failures don't like to do the same things that me and you don't like to do. Well, what are some of those things that we don't like to do? We may not like to exercise. We may not like to get up early. We may not like to plan. We may not like to go to work. We may not like to use our minds to the fullest. There's a lot of things that we don't like to do, that failures don't like to do. But before I dive into it, y'all know what it is in case you're new to the channel. I'm going to shout you out. But I got to salute you first. I got to salute the divinity in you. I respect the divinity in each and every last one of you, whether you realize it or you recognize it or not. So let's jump into it. Let's dive into it for a second. Why is work important? Work is important for a lot of different reasons, guys. Your calling, let's talk about that for a second. Your gifts, your talents, your skills. Do you have the skills to pay the bills? Act like you know and not like you slow. Feel me? Act like you know and not like you slow. Your skill is your will. Your skill can take you places where you wouldn't believe you could go if you have the skill. Are you willing to cultivate your talent? Are you willing to cultivate your skills? Well, what are your skills? You have to take a self-assessment. You have to take a personal assessment on what your skills, what your gifts, what's your talents. What do you do best? Are you an artist? Can you draw? Do you have administration skills? Are you a good secretary? Are you a good leader? Are you a good teacher? Do you have the skills to pay the bills? Work is very important. Well, what do you find in work? An idle mind is the devil's workshop. Tell my kid this all the time growing up. He still knows this to this day. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. I used to hear that as a kid. And what that means is an idle mind, if you don't have anything going on, if you're not working on something, if you don't have a project, if you're not busy and you're not using the medulla, it's the devil's workshop. And what they meant by that is if you don't have anything going on and you're not working and you're not using your mind, you're going to find something to get into. Something that you don't necessarily want to get into. That's why it's important to stay busy. That's why it's important to apply your mind on your goals. I once heard before, the hardest work that you will ever do is thinking. I want you to get that. The hardest work that you will ever do is thinking. Well, you say, OG, why? Why is that the hardest work? Because that is the true currency in the universe. You need to pick that up. That is the real currency. It's the true currency in this world. People always say thoughts are things. Thought is currency. Thought is energy. Thought is mind. Thought is value. Thought is money. Because if you could think properly and you could focus on what it is that you want to, what do you want to create, and you could bring value, guess what? You've created value, you've created currency. Thought is the real currency in the universe. Don't squander your mind. Don't squander your thoughts. Don't squander your energy. You are energy. You are energy. You are a big ball of energy. Use it wisely. Use it wisely. I also remember the adage as a kid. You know, there's a lot of lessons that I learned as a kid. They used to say, if you don't work, you don't eat. Now, I don't know how much I really believe in that. If you don't work, you don't eat. I used to hear this all the time. But in this new world, there's a lot of people who eat and don't work. But people think work is just going on a job. Work is just going through the routine day in and day out. If you're going to the gym, you're not going to see results immediately. You're not going to see results immediately. Why? Because it takes time. It takes time. You may go for a month, you may not see the results you want. You may go 6 months, you may not see the results you want. But there's things that you have to do when you're exercising. You have to eat right. You have to sleep right. You have to get the proper vitamins and nutrition. These are things that you have to do if you want to see results. And the fastest way to getting results in whatever field you're in is to find you somebody who you can model. Write that word down. Model. Model. Do you know what a model is? A model is somebody who's getting the results that you want to get. I'm going to repeat that. A model is somebody who's getting the results that you want to get. What do you want? What do you want? Look for that. If you want a certain characteristic, clothe yourself in that characteristic. And what I mean when I say that, if you, the characteristic of, let's say, being honest or being on time, clothe yourself in that. Take on the characteristic of what you want. Take on that mindset. Take on that mindset. Believe it or not, that's work. Think and manifest. Think and manifest. Think and grow rich. Napoleon Hill. Brings me back to Napoleon Hill. Think. Dale Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie. These guys understood the power of the mind. Dr. Joseph Murphy. The power of the subconscious mind. TNT. Claude Bristol. These are great minds. Great minds. Check out the books. Dr. Claude Bristol, TNT, It Rocks Your World. The mind. All they're talking about is the mind, the power of the subconscious mind. It's work. Because you have to program that mind. You have to maybe reprogram that mind. It's work. It's work. That's why they tell you to use affirmations. A great affirmation I've used over the years. I got it from Tony Robbins, another great guy to have in your arsenal. Great guy to have in your toolbox. All I need is within me now. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. That's work. Amelia Coulier. Amelia Coulier. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. But here's one from Tony Robbins that I use. God's wealth is circulating in my life now. His wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. All my goals, joy, all my goals and joys meet instantaneously by infinite intelligence, for I'm one with God, and God is everything. God's wealth is circulating in my life now. His wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. All my goals and needs are met instantaneously by infinite intelligence, for I am one with God, and God is everything. Repeat it. Tell it to yourself. Depending on what you want. Find affirmations. Find people who are getting the results that you want. Other great teachers are Zig Ziglar, he's phenomenal. Jim Rome, he's a great guy. These are great people to listen to, whether it's on audio or whether it's a book. Grab a book. Learn something new. Get on YouTube. Learn something new. Search how to obtain a positive mindset. Attitude. Attitude. Attitude is the magic word. What you put in is what you're going to get out. That's why it's not good to sit back and watch trash TV all day. That's why it's not good to listen to violent music all day. That's why it's not good to watch violent movies all the time, because you're programming your subconscious mind, whether you notice or not. From the time you got out the womb until whatever age you are right now, you've been being programmed. Whether you're watching television, it's telling lies to your vision. Whether you're listening to the radio, your mind is a receiver and a transponder. So you radiate signals and you receive signals. What are the signals that you're sending out? What are you sending out? What are the pictures that you're seeing on your mind? Because that's what you're going to attract. Whatever you can see in the mind, that's what comes to fruition. That's what comes to reality in your life. The things that you see in your mind. The pictures. If you can paint a picture in your mind, having a vision board is important. That's work. Spending some time creating a vision board for your life. Creating a soundtrack for your life. Putting music together that's going to inspire you. Things that's going to inspire you. Finding people who are going to encourage you and motivate you. Maybe you want to join Toastmasters. Maybe you want to start a mastermind group. Maybe you want to start a mastermind group. When two are gathered and they touch and agree, anything's possible. Anything's possible, but it's the power of mind. It's the power of mind that's really at work. Whatever you could see, that's why they used to say, if you could believe it, if the mind can believe it, you can achieve it. If you could believe it, you could achieve it. Believing it is the work. Only person that you have to convince in this life, there's only one person that you have to convince. OG's going to tell you. OG's going to give it to you. Yourself. Yourself. I got to a point on my journey where I was like, if anybody's going to take me down a bad path, or anybody's going to take me to hell, whether you believe in that or not, state of minds. These are state of minds. Most people in hell, and they don't even realize it. State of mind. If anybody's going to take me there, I'm going to take myself. I don't need a preacher to take me there. I don't need a friend to take me there. I don't need a pastor to take me there. You got one shot. You got one shot. Are you going to do the work? Or are you going to rely on somebody else to tell you? God don't need an in between you and him or her. God don't need a go between. But are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to meditate? Are you willing to pray? Are you willing to fast? It's not that you got to go to work. You get to go to work. You get to go work out. You get to complete projects. You get to create a life that you want. You get to do it. Don't look at the work. What happens is we look at the work and it looks exhausting, so we never get started. We look at the work and we get tired from looking at the work. Well, I'm telling you, don't get tired just by looking at the work. Get busy working. When a woman gets pregnant, it takes 9 months. 9 months to have a baby. And then the woman goes through labor. Nobody want to hear about everything the woman went through. All people want to do is show me the baby. They want to see the baby. Let's see what the baby look like. Let's see what your baby looks like. What have you been giving birth to in your life? Have you been getting the things that you want? Have you been manifesting the things you want? Remember, Thinking, thinking, thinking is the real work in the universe. People think it's just physical labor. And there's something to be said for physical labor. There's definitely something to be said about manual labor. When you get into, let's say, manual labor, it causes your mind to focus in. Go cut the grass and see what happens. You're gonna lock in. You're gonna lock in. Then you're gonna get in contact with that creative mind. And when you come in contact with that creative mind, it's a go. Game on. Game on. If you listen to Earl Nightingale, he would talk to you about the golden hour. It's probably the most productive time of the day is the golden hour, which is the first hour upon waking up in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, you could sit down with a legal pad and a pen and you could think. Write your goal on the top of the paper and then just start thinking. This is work. This is work. But not everybody want to do the work. It's cool to get great ideas from books. It's cool to get great ideas on the internet and learn from all these people. But the one step that everybody needs to get and understand is you have to take action. You have to do the work. In some circles, they call it shadow work. Some circles, they call it work, power of the mind. Whatever you want. I don't care what you call it. The main thing is you got to get busy. You got to get busy. It's important to have a calling. I remember growing up in church as a young man, and I would hear people say, what's my calling? I don't know what my calling is. I don't know what my calling is. Well, there's a problem. You think Jay-Z ever doubted what his gift was or what his calling was? I don't think so. I don't think so. You think Michael Jordan ever questioned what his gift or what his talent was? Do you think Michael Jackson or Prince ever questioned what their skills or what their ability was? Do you think Tom Brady ever doubted in his mind what his calling was or what his skill was? A great manager. Great manager. Not the biggest, but he'll study and he'll outstudy you. It's the work. People don't see the work. It's not about them seeing your work. It's about you showing and proving. You got to do the work. You got to know what your skill sets are. You say, well, OG, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I'm not good. I've heard people say I'm not good at anything. And if you tell yourself that, it is as you say. Whatever you put out there, it's your belief that makes you whole. So whatever you believe, if you don't believe you're no good, you're absolutely right. If you think you're defeated before you start, you're absolutely right. Whatever you believe. Whatever you believe. This is why belief is so important. You could know something, but you can't have the knowledge unless you really believe it. All things are possible to those who believe. And when you believe it, you put in the work. I know songwriters, they've been writing for years. Years. They get one placement and get sidetracked. And there will be things that sidetrack you on your journey, people. There will be things that's going to interfere with where you want to go. But your job is to stay focused, stay centered, and apply the knowledge. Gain the knowledge and apply it. Knowledge without application is still nothing. People say knowledge is power, but that's not true. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. Applied knowledge is power. You gotta pick that up. Applied knowledge is power. When you can get up and you can act, then your brain is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Thinking, working. Repetition is the mother of skill. Necessity Necessity. When you need it, you got to use it. You should be thinking every day, figuring it out, making it happen. Don't sit back and wait. God gave you a mind. The Creator gave you a mind. Use it. Use it. They say in the beginning, God say, "Let there be light." Who was there to hear? Who was there to hear? They wrote the stuff down, but who was there to hear all when God said, "Let there be light"? Who was here? I don't know. I don't know who wrote the stuff. I don't know. But the bottom line is get understanding, get knowledge, apply the knowledge. Apply the knowledge. You've got the tools. I told you guys this last night. You got the tools. Use the internet. Don't let it use you. Use the smartphone. Don't let it use you. Don't be a slave to technology. Don't be a slave to technology. The new world order is already here. It's already here. Technology's here. It's the new world order. One day we're dealing with a pandemic. The next day we're dealing with World War III. It's still work. Every so often it has to be a war. A lot of money's made doing war, whether you believe it or not. And I don't want to get sidetracked, but we're talking about work. There's countries that get occupied by other countries, by other governments. There's people who are oppressed by other people. Why? Why? You're talking about work. Who don't want to do the work? Who don't want to do the work? You got to do the work. I don't care what country you're in, what city, state, town you're in. Somebody had to do the work. Where did this labor come from? Where did this great workforce come from? You look at the pyramids, where did the workforce come from? Where did these people come from? You got to do the work. Work is important on a lot of different levels. Without a good work ethic, let's talk about work ethic for a second. Look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry isn't a big guy, but look at him. He's probably going to be remembered when he finished playing basketball as one of the greatest to ever play. He's going to, no doubt. Why? Because he has a sick work ethic. He has a sick work ethic. What is your work ethic like? Michael Jordan had a crazy work ethic. Kobe Bryant had a wild work ethic. Some of these artists just have wild work ethics. Kanye West has got a ridiculous work ethic. Drake, they work nonstop. They work constantly. What do they know that you don't know? The harder you work, the luckier you get. The harder you work, the luckier you will get. You choose the type of work you do. That's the real. You choose the type of work you do. Well, you say, "Oh, gee, well, I'm stuck on this job." Nobody's holding you back on a job. If you're not doing what you like to do, you could change. That's why you got a mind. You can make a better decision. You can make a better decision. How? You can reach out to your contacts. You can reach out to your friends and your family. You could actually start off with a piece of paper, start writing down what you're good at. One of the fastest ways to find out what you're good at is ask people around you. What do you think I'm good at? Ask your parents if you have parents. What do you think I'm good at? Ask your friends. Ask your friends. What do you think I'm good at? Somebody's going to tell you, "Hey, you're a good writer. You're a good speaker. You're a good teacher. You're a good technician. You're a good artist. You would be a great lawyer. You like to argue, so you would be a good lawyer." You can find out easy if you're willing to do the work. Opportunities don't hold up signs and say, "Look at me, look at me." You have to recognize opportunity in order to take advantage of opportunity. You have to recognize opportunity in order to take advantage of it. If you don't recognize the opportunities, there's no way that you could take advantage of it. Opportunities all around. Open your eyes. Use your spiritual eyes. Use your one eye. Use your third eye. Use it. Sit back, meditate, operate on a different realm, spiritually, physically, emotionally, operate on a different realm. State of mind. What state of mind you want to be in? You want to be in a state of mind of poverty, or do you want to be in a state of mind of wealth and opulence? Do you want to be in a state of mind of health, or you want to be in a state of mind of sickness? It's a state of mind. I remember growing up at church, they used to sing a song, my mind, my mind, my mind's done gone. They were right. Their mind were gone. Somebody taught them some songs, and they didn't realize what they were saying. Programming. A lot of people in church are programmed. I don't want to shit on the church, but I'm just telling you, that's where I came from. So I'm letting you know, a lot of people have not learned how to think for themselves. Question everything. Question everything. If it don't sound right, chances are it isn't right. If it sounds too good to be true, chances are it's not. It's not true. If it sounds too good to be true. You have to learn how to be analytical. It's still work. I'm still talking about work, people. You got to be analytical. You got to be able to analyze a situation. You got to be able to analyze an opportunity. And you have to be able to act fast and make a sound decision. A sound decision. You don't have to think about breathing. You don't have to think about blinking your eyes. You don't have to think about walking when you do that. That's all subconsciously. Subconsciously. You do that subconsciously. Whether you think so or not, you do it. God never rests. The universe never rests. Everything's in a state of growth. It's all about growth. The law of growth. Look it up. Look up what the law of growth is. The law of life. Look it up. Look it up. It's work. It's work. If your kid wasn't growing, or your animal wasn't growing, your dog wasn't growing, you'd get a little concerned. The place where you want to grow at is your mind. The place you want to evolve at is in your mind. Because if you could change your stinking thinking, you could change your life. You could change your life. Get in the car. If you got a car, go for a ride and just think. Think. Get at the kitchen table. Spend some time by yourself and think. Think. But not only, just don't do it one time and say, oh, I thought this morning and that was it. I was doing some thinking this morning and that was it. No. Think every day. Use your mind every day. Use your mind every day. Every day. Why? Because you're gonna get the greatest rewards. The greatest rewards come from your mind. They come from your mind. The greatest rewards you're gonna get is gonna come from your mind. The greatest ideas that you're gonna get it from your mind. Your mind. The power of your mind. It's work. But we don't want to get up from a comfortable place. We tend to get comfortable. The bed is warm. We don't want to get up out of bed. Life ain't so bad, but we've got so comfortable that we're not willing to do whatever it takes to get what we want. What do you really want? Write it down on a piece of paper. Write it down on a piece of paper. And then come up with every idea you could come up with. Everything you can do. Everything you could do in order to help you reach that goal. Let's give you an example. So, you want a new house. Let's say, for example, you want a new house. What are the things that you need to do? Say you live in an apartment right now. What are one thing you can do? The first thing you can do is you can assess your situation. You can say, well, this is how much I can afford, and this is what I'm willing to do to get what I need. You may need more knowledge. You may have to find you a book. You might start out by looking at a book and doing a little homework. How to buy a house. Maybe you might go to YouTube and Google that, or and read a few articles. What's important. So what you're doing is you're educating the mind. You're educating yourself. And then you may want to talk to a mortgage person. Still educate. You can talk to many of those you want to. Yet still educating yourself. The more information you get, the better decision you can make. The more information you get, that's with anything. The more information you get, the better decision you can make. And this is the problem with a lot of doctors are having nowadays is that there's so much information out there. And people could go find sources of information that wasn't there 20, 30 years ago. And now they can challenge some of the decisions that's being made over their lives. They can challenge it because there's more information. We are in the information age. But remember, it's work. It's work. Do the work. Do the work. Do the work. I don't care what the discipline is, you're going to do the work. You want to be a photographer? Grab a book. You want to be a carpenter? Go grab a book. Find somebody who's doing it. You want to be an electrician? Go be an apprentice. Be an apprentice. Find a mentor. Find a mentor. They're going to cut the curb for you. They're going to bring you to a place faster than you could if you were just on your own. But it's work. When you go find a mentor or you find somebody to help you, harass that person because that's what they have something that you want. You said, well, I already called them once. No, you got to keep on going back until you get what it is that you want. You can't just take no for an answer. Stop taking no for an answer. Push through. You got to push to the front. Don't stand in the back of the line. It's time to push to the front. You got to push to the front. You say you want it, right? Life will give you anything if you're really willing to work for it and you're willing to put in the work, put in the hours. Watch The Rock. Check out what The Rock says. Put in the work and put in the hours. He's coming to devour and take what's ours. You got to put in the work. There's no ancient Chinese secret. There's no, I don't got no get rich quick schemes. I don't got no pills. I don't got none of that. All it's going to take is some what's up, Hollow Boy? All it's going to take is some hard work. It's going to take some hard work. You're going to have to put some elbow grease into whatever it is that you want to do. You're going to have to put some elbow grease in. You're going to have to stamp. You're going to have to burn some of that midnight oil. But the main catalyst is your mind. Your mind. Learn how to think. It's your thinking that's got you where you are right now. Whether you think so or not, it's your mind that's got you where you are right now. If you don't like where you are right now, change your mind and you can change your life. Change your mind and change your life. You say, well, OG, I don't like this job. Change your mind about it. See it in a new light. You're there to learn everything you can learn. There's something there that you're good at. There's something there that you learn. Ask the people who your coworkers, what do you guys think I'm good at? What do you think I could do? A lot of you guys got businesses inside you. Businesses, like full-blown businesses. But are you going to create it? Nobody's coming to do the work for you. I believe Henry Ford said, opportunity is always there, but it's dressed up. It's dressed up. It's dressed up in Massachusetts. It's dressed up in overalls. Opportunity is always there, but it's dressed up as in overalls. In overalls. In overalls. People don't want to put in the work. I'm in the United States. What do the United States manufacture anymore? Once we were a great manufacturing country. We manufacture shoes. We manufacture clothes. We manufacture parts. We make automobiles. We did so many things in the country. Now ask the Americans, what do they make? Hamburgers and insurance. Hamburgers and insurance. It's the mind. The power's in the people. The people have the power once they realize that they got their minds and they've got a mind and they can use it. then we're operating on a different playing field altogether. What do you really want? What do you want? People think freedom is free. Freedom's not free. Somebody had to work for it. Somebody had to die for it. Somebody's got to be on the bottom. Freedom's not free. It costs. It costs. You get to pay the price. You get to enjoy whatever the fruits of your labor. What is your labor? How are you enjoying fruits and you're not doing any work and you're not putting in no work? You say, well, OG, I want a Mercedes CL 550. I say, yeah, so what's your plan? Always have a plan. What's your plan? What's your plan? Know your talents, know your skills, know yourself, know your ability. And always believe in you. Believe in you. When the doubters doubt and the haters hate, believe in you. That's really the secret. That's really the trick in the whole game. Believe in you. You become the actor in your own movie. You are the actor in your own movie. How great do you want your movie to be? Do you want in the end all they say was, oh, he was okay, he was all right, he was just an average guy, just an average girl. They were just average. They didn't do anything. They didn't make no contributions to the community. They didn't make no contributions to society. They didn't do anything. All those sperms you beat to get to those eggs, you beat a whole lot of them. You're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. On the shoulders of all those ancestors who came before you and all those people who came before you, and you're standing on their shoulders, you came in for a purpose. Maybe you're writing that novel. Maybe you're writing that story. See what you're saying? The key to success, nobody's gonna. The free lunch program went out in the 1960s. The free lunch program. This is not a free lunch program. What you put in is what you get out. What you put in is what you get out. If you put in nothing, you're gonna get nothing. Can you make a withdrawal from the bank if you didn't make a deposit? You can't withdraw anything out of the bank if you didn't make a deposit. The work is the deposit. The work is the deposit. That's the deposit. Get lost in your work. Get lost in your art. Get lost in your craft. Get lost with your gifts. Get lost. Do it. And what I mean when I say get lost is you want to get so deep into what it is that you do, and you want to focus so much on what you do that you get lost in yourself and you get lost in your art and where your heart is, that you just produce and you create and you evolve and you keep growing because that's your passion. What is your passion? So you may be a musician. You may be like, well, I can't go to the studio right now. Maybe you got to build your own studio. That's being hungry. Maybe you got to find some new friends. Being hungry, whatever it's going to take. You've seen the stories, the starving artists who pick up and move and go across the country or across the world in order to pursue what it is that they desire. We're talking about work. People wouldn't do those things if they didn't believe in themselves. People wouldn't leave their families and move to another place in search of a better life. Many people have come to the U.S. in search of the American dream, but it takes action. It takes action. You're not going to get anything by staying at home, staying in bed. You're not going to get anything by not doing nothing. You are energy. You are energy. Use your gifts. Take a self-assessment. Take a self-assessment. Assess yourself. Assess yourself. There's other things that you could do to better yourself. There's another book that I've got by, I believe the guy's name's Crowley. Not Aleister Crowley or anything. I'm not going to look for it. But the name of the book, I'll tell you what the name. It's a short book. It should be in your library. You must have it. Rich Habits. It's called Rich Habits. Definitely want to have that book. It's a small book. And the guy's number and name is in the book. And I'm sure if you contact him, he will definitely get in touch with you. I just read this book a few years ago, and the book is a must-have because it's your habits that create your life. It's your habits. It's your habits that create your life. What are some of the habits that you need to eradicate? What are some of the habits that you need to get rid of? What are some of the habits you need to get rid of? Yep, Thomas Corley, Corley, Thomas Corley, Rich Habits, 60 pages. It's a free download, I believe, on the PDF drive. It's a free download. This book you want this book. Rich Habits. Then you got Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is another one, Think and Grow Rich. These are just some of the books that you need in your library. How to Win Friends and Influence People. It depends on where you're going at on your journey. Where are you going at in your path? Where are you going? Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to do the work? Or are you just going to wait here and wait for change to happen? You want Jesus to take the wheel? Keep on waiting for Jesus to take the wheel. Wait for Jesus to take the wheel. See what happens. You can wait here. You can wait here forever. You got to go do something. You got to go put it in a bag. You got to do the work. You got to do the work because your calling is in the work. Your calling is in the work. Your gift is in the work. It's in the work. It's in the work. And it's dressed up, opportunities dressed up in overalls. I heard a story once about a farmer who bought some abandoned property, bought some abandoned land, and he started working on the land. And the neighbors came and said, wow, God, look what God gave you. He said, yeah, you should have seen it when God had it. You should have seen it when God had it. And the point of the moral of the story is that nothing can happen unless we put some work in. You can buy a rundown property and rehab them. Yeah, nobody said it was gonna be easy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm never gonna tell you it's gonna be easy because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. What's your idea of success? What's your idea of success? Reading books, studying, that's still work. But your greatest work is thinking. 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 Don't sleep on your mind. You are the gift. You are the secret. Stop looking outside of yourself. Everything that you need is already in you. You've got a mind. Use it. Now, everybody don't have the same IQ. Everybody don't have a genius. Everybody is not a genius, but the potential is there if you're willing to put in the work. Look at the things that Benjamin Franklin did. Just read the autobiography, Benjamin Franklin. Unbelievable. Look all the things that he was credited with. Wow. Without a computer, without the internet, these guys, look at George Washington Carver. Without the internet, without computers, without any of that stuff, scientists, inventors, they did all the stuff without the internet. We've got internet. We've got unlimited knowledge. We can tap into any mind. I'm just saying. But are you going to do that work? Not everybody's willing to do that work. Not everybody's willing to do that work. What are you willing to do? How far are you willing to go? You want to go 6 months and turn around? You want to go a year and turn around? You want to go 5 years and turn around? You can't turn back. You can't give up. You've come too far to give up now. You've come too far to give up now. Don't give up. You're almost there. Know what you want. You're going to reach your goals. You're going to reach your goals. If I'm you and I don't have any goals, the first thing I'm going to do is start writing down my goals. I'll start with one goal. Start with one goal until you reach that goal. Start with one goal. Start with one goal until you reach that goal. There you go. There you go. I feel it. I feel it. Trust me. I heard that too. Agree. Totally agree with him. And what people don't understand is what people don't see about X is the amount of work that he put. Bro, he worked. He worked. He worked. He understood frequency. He understood all that stuff because he worked. Sound engineering, working on his laptop. He worked. But people don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the work. The work. It's work. It's all work. But the hardest work you'll ever do is thinking. All right? So use your mind. If you get anything from this today, anything, think. Think. Because it's the hardest work you'll ever do. But it's the most profitable. The most profitable work you can do. You can't build a house unless you think about it. Architects draw drawings all the time, but they have to visualize. Another key. That's another form of work. Visualization brings forth the manifestation. Pick it up. Visualization. You got to see it. Seeing is believing. Visualization brings forth the manifestation. If you can't see it, how are you going to achieve it? Yeah, facts. Big facts. Big facts. I appreciate you too. I appreciate you too. The time is now. The time is now. Use your mind. If all you could do is visualize, say all you could do is visualize what it is that you want. Sit there and visualize on it. Take some time and visualize on it. It'll show up. It has to show up. Why? Because that's your creative apparatus. That's your tool. The mind is all. The mind is all. I'm going to get out here. Hopefully you guys have a great Saturday night. Thank you guys for rocking with the OG again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for rolling with the OG. To all the beautiful infinite creators around the world, we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep evolving. Believe in yourself. Believe in you. You are the key. All right? You are the key. So until the next time, I salute you. Cheers. Peace. We out. Have a good one. Take care, bro.